Welcome everyone. This is 12.1 product of powers going into exponents. Okay, so let's look at our table here. So we have all this stuff. We're just going to cover on this lesson product of powers, which is this right there, and then the zero exponent. So these are the two that we're going to cover today. And we're going to go over that and what that means. Okay, so product of powers and zero exponent. So first one, zero exponent. Any number or variable raised to a power of 0 is always equal to 1, right? So any number that's raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. And your base number, which is your a or b, right, is not equal to 0. So for examples here, we have 5 to the 0th power. This is always just equal to 1, right? So this is just 1. Any number to the 0th power is 1. So you get 1 times 5 to the 3rd. So you get 5 3 times. Just write it out. 1, 2, 3. Then total you have just 5 to the 3rd power. 5 to the 3rd power is 125. Okay, so we're just writing out our factors. And we'll go over these a little bit. Okay, product of powers right here, right? So this number, or this is your base, this number, and your exponent is a little number up top, right? So your base number, or variable, whatever it is, letter, is on the bottom, right? Your base and your exponent. So the product of powers obviously is if you have the same base and you multiply them together, you just add the exponents. And we'll go over why that works in our examples. Okay, so let's go over these. Yeah, we'll just do examples so you get it. Okay, so let's write these up. Okay, so we get 2 to the 4th power. So all we gotta do is write out our factors, right? So we have 2 to the 4th power right there. So it's gonna be 2 4 times, right? So 2 4 times. 2 to the 0th power, right? This is equal to 1, right? Anything to the 0th power is 1. So we can just put 1 there. And then 2 to the 4th power, we have 2 4 more times. Right? So we just write out our factors. Okay. So we write out our factors, and then we see how much do we have. And you just add them up, right? So count. So count how many you have, right? So let's just count. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2's. So this is just 2 to the 8 power right there, right? So our answer will be just 2 to the 8 power right there. That's how we do the powers. 2 to the 8 power. Okay, let's go to number 2. That's all it is, right? Write it out. Write it out. Okay, next one. Number 2. Same thing. We're just going to write out our factors. So we have the first one, right? It's negative 2 times x 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The second one, different color. The second one we're going to put on the bottom. So we have negative 1, because it's a negative, times x 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have 3 of them. And then we look, what do we have, right? All we do is we just take this, and then we're going to multiply it. Okay, we're going to take it, multiply. So we have negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Then we count how many x's do we have multiplied all together. Right, we have all this right here. So a total of let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have x to the 7th power. And that's our answer right there. So 2x to the 7th power. All right, so we're just writing out how much we have, and we're just adding them together. And you notice the numbers in the front, so -2 and -1, we multiply, right? -2 times -1 is +2, and you count how many x's do we have total? 7, so x to the 7th power. All right, and doing enough of these, you can see the shortcut. And you can see a shortcut how to do it. Okay, let's do this one. All right, so first one, let's go write it out. Let's do it this way. Okay, so 3x squared, well, we have 3 times x times x times x, so write it out. Then we got 2x squared, or 2x cubed, be 2, and we have 3 x's, right? Just like when we did GCF. Then x to the 4th, we have 4 x's together. All right, so we just wrote out each one. Then we're going to multiply that. Right, so we multiply all of that. So we can take 3 times 2, right? The other one doesn't have a number, so we don't have to do that. So 3 times 2, 6. And we count how many x's do we have, right? All together, we just count them up. How much do we have all together? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is just x to the 10th power. Right, so that's our answer right there. So our answer is 6x to the 10th power. Yeah, that's simple, that's simple. And you get good at it, right? Let's go over the shortcut after. Okay, next one. Now we just have x's and y's. Makes no difference. We're just gonna write it out, right? So we got the first one, I'm just gonna write. So it's 3 times, and we got 4 x's, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to our y's. We have 4 y's now. I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4 y's. Right? We just write each one how many we have. Then the second one, x cubed, we have 3 x's, right? Just write 3 x's right there. And then we look at, then we're going to multiply it. How much do we have of each? Right, so we'll multiply. So we look at, we just have a 3, so this is just comes down 3. And then we count how many x's do we have? We have 7 total, so that's x to the 7th. Then you look at how many y's you have, just 4 of them, so it's y to the 4th. And that's it, right there. So we got 3x to the 7th, y to the 4th. Okay. That's all it is, right? So you notice what we're doing. Write out the factors and count how many you have of each variable. Multiply the coefficients in front of the variables. So we just write out our factors, right? Okay, so number 5, let's do this one. Okay, so we got 4. Okay, so we got 4 times, remember x to the 0, any number to the 0th power is 1, right? So that's going to be 1. Y to the 4th, we just write 4 y's. Then we go to the next one. We have -3. And then this again, x to the 0th power is another 1. And then y squared is 2y's, right? Y times y. Then we're going to multiply that. Right, so 4 times -3 is -12. 1 times 1 is just 1. And then we count how many y's do we have? So all together, how much do we have right there? 4, 5, 6. Right, so y to the 6th power. And that's our answer right there. So -12 y to the 6th power. Okay? That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. Just counting how many x's do you have, how many y's do you have, and then multiply the numbers in the front. Here's the number 6. Okay, so same thing. We're going to multiply. So we got 2, we're going to factor out 2 times, and then we have 2 x's, so that's x. Now we have 2 z's. Does not matter, we write out 2 z's, right? That's how much we have. Then we go to the next one, we have negative 3 times, we have 1x, 2 y's, and 3 z's. And we just write them all out. Then we're going to multiply. So 2 times negative 3, negative 6. Then we count our x's. So here we got 3 x's. So this is x to the 3rd power. Then we look, how many y's do we have? We just have 2 of them here. So that just it stays y squared. Then you add up how many z's do you have? Right, you have 5 of them. So that's z to the 5th power. And that's our answer right there. So negative 6, x to the 3rd, y squared, z to the 5th. Right there. That's all it is. Okay, and then you guys can do the other ones. So you notice what is the shortcut? Well, you could write it out all the time. It's pretty simple, right? Just go through that and add how many you have. And then you could do the shortcut, which is what we're talking about with the powers, right? The product of powers. We're saying that you could add the exponents if you wanted to, if you had the same base, right? But I want you guys to write it out here. So you can see this one, you can negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2, and you count how many x's you have. 4 plus 3, 7, right? This one, 3 times a 1, just 3 by itself, so 3. How many x's do you have? You have 4 here, 3 here, that's 7, and then you have 4 y's right there, right? That's all it is. Then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Count how many x's you have. You have 2 here, 1 here, so that's 3. You have y's, 2 of them, and then you have 2 here, z's, 3 here is 5 z's together. Okay, so you're just multiplying your coefficients for the numbers in front, and you're counting how many you have of each variable. And that's all it is to it, like this one. 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. You count how many x's you have. 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 5. Wait, 5. What did I do? I did something wrong. Good thing. Good thing I caught that. Right, so this should be right there. Because there's only 2 x's, I put one too many. So this should be 9 right there. 9. Yeah. Right, because 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4, 9. Should be 9. Right there. Okay, and that's all you use to it. Write it out and add together. How much do you have?